is cardiac echo 1, Cincinnati State. I always put my gel on my probe. Lights, please. Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, he's going to put it on Facebook. Yeah.
So I want this on tonight. Come a little bit closer. Are you pretty comfy? Somewhat? As comfortable as you can. Different angles. All right. So, Monday, we learned peristomal. Just gonna quickly kind of clear this up a little bit, because I know we want to get the apicals. Focus. That's fine. Okay. So again, we have left atrium. We have mitral valve going into the left ventricle here, interventricular septum, aortic valve. The aorta goes off the screen this way, and your right ventricle. Okay, we can tilt. Why is that doing that? We can tilt up into the pulmonary valve here, pulmonic, right there. And then that's up towards his left shoulder. If I tilt down towards his right hip, I bring in the tricuspid valve right here. Okay? All right, so I go back, peristernal long axis. Measurement. Okay. Peristernal long axis. I turn 90 degrees, tilt down or inferiorly towards the apex. Take a breath in, blow it out. Good. Just try and see those walls come together. Scan up to the papillary muscles. Breathe. And then into the mitral valve. And then to the base of the heart. No, that's and this here, aortic valve here, tricuspid valve here, pulmonics right here. It's not a great image of the pulmonic, but it's right here. Take a breath in, blow it out, hold it out. You see a little bit better, slightly. You guys see it? Pulmonic right here. Tricuspid, aortic. Okay, so we need to now go to the apicals. Right now we're on the top, we're more superior. We're going to go down apical to the apical position. You're going to move from here down to about here. And your knot should be at about 3 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this gel. There we go. And now I need to adjust my depth and my gain, because we want to see all the chambers here. Okay. Take a breath in for me and hold it. Sometimes that will help. Blow it out. Hold it out. Okay, come a little bit more towards me. I can put a little bit more gel on him.
You can pass all that fur.
That's what I was going to say. I'm sitting here.
Nah, he's fine.
Got a Yeti on the table.
Roll back just a little bit, slightly. Okay, right there. Okay, so what we see here are all 4 chambers. The left atrium, the right atrium. This is the mitral valve, tricuspid valve over here, left ventricle and right ventricle. This is the interventricular septum and the interatrial septum. Okay. If I scan, angle my beam superiorly towards his head, I bring in the aortic valve.
Is that the RVOT that you just had to do?
No.
On the bottom right?
No, no.
That was a really small movement to bring
Well,
in.
sometimes you get a view of the inflow or the...
The outflow tract?
Is that the outflow tract?
Right now, I don't, this is the apical 4 chamber, so I'm not getting any outflow tracts right now. Okay. Now, when I angle into my apical 5, I bring in the left ventricular outflow tract right here, going into your aortic valve. LVOT right here in front of your aortic valve. Okay, then I go back to my apical 4 chamber. I'm trying to clear up some of these echoes out of there. Okay, so we're about at 3 o'clock. When I turn to about, I would say at 2 o'clock, I bring in only my left ventricle, mitral valve, and left atrium right here. So I go from, say, a 3 o'clock notch presentation to about a 1 to 2 o'clock, I would say. Take a breath in for me and hold it. Breathe it out. Hold it out. Okay, you guys see that? 2 chambers. All right, so then when I rotate to about a, I would say, 11 o'clock angle for a presentation of my notch, I get aortic valve, left ventricular outflow tract, left ventricle right here, mitral valve, and left atrium. Now, what other view do you see those, that anatomy right there? What other view?
The 5 chamber.
The what?
In the 5 chamber?
The parasternal
The long.
Long axis, exactly. This is the same image. Right ventricle is over here. We're not getting that really well, but you see left atrium, mitral valve, left ventricle, left ventricular outflow tract, and your aortic valve.
It's just from the apex into the base, essentially. Same image, but from the other side.
Yes.
So at 2 o'clock we were on the right.
So, no.
But
Two-
I'm still left ventricle.
This is left ventricle, yes. Okay? All right? So, you guys can play around with color flow, but this is where you need to be for your apical view.
She's pushing pretty hard too.
Yeah.
So.
You guys may not have to push as hard. I'm kind of, heavy-handed, so. But yeah, push a little bit. All right, any questions about apical?